Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 50 and up who love their tech. Samsung's Flip series phones started an innovative way to interact with their smartphone and brandish competitive flip phones from other smartphone manufacturers. While I know many are awaiting to see if Apple will ever toss their hat in the ring, there have been a few flip phones that captivated users, particularly the Motorola Razr flip phone series. The Razr Ultra 2025 version, for example, is chock full of features that aren't present in the latest Flip 6 phones, especially their DeX-like Smart Connect feature. Despite the Razr Ultra being a much superior phone than the Flip 6 and the Flip series phones before the Flip 6, I'm right now sporting a Flip 5 and decided to use a Flip 5 over the Flip 6 because this is used and it was a much cheaper price on eBay than the Flip 6. The Flip series phones have two features that I like over the Razr phones. One being the hinge and the second being storage space. The engineering on the hinge is top notch. The angles you can open this to without it collapsing is very astonishing. If you tried to open any Razr phone at this angle, it would instantly collapse. Now, as far as storage space, before the Razr Ultra, the maximum amount of storage you can get on any Razr phone was 256 gigabytes in the US. The newest of the Razr phones, the Razr Ultra, has 512 gigabytes minimum storage with a maximum of 1 terabyte of space. But as usual, you have to pay more money for that storage. And in my opinion, it's not worth the extra money. Now, I don't know how far back the Flip series phones had 512 gigabytes of maximum storage, but on my Flip 5, I have 512 gigabytes of storage on this phone, and this was made obviously before the Razr Ultra. I believe this one came out around the Razr Plus 2023 version. And again, on the Razr Plus, the maximum amount of storage in the US you can get on it was 256 gigabytes, but on the flip phones, you can get up to 512 gigabytes of storage. And despite the Motorola Razr series phones having a lot more features and a lot more better features than the flip phones, I'd rather have the storage space over the features. The reason being is because you're able to get close enough features on a Flip 5 with readily available apps that are in the Play Store or I believe in the Samsung Galaxy App Store. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use MultiStar, which is an extension of Good Lock, and Nova Launcher to make my Flip 5 a powerhouse. Now with MultiStar through Good Lock, it will allow you on the cover screen to create a widget that will allow you to open up any app that you have installed on your phone right on the cover screen. Now with the Motorola Razr phones, you're able to do that right out the box, no problem, no extra software needed. And some people complain about this software that you needed to install it on the phone, but it's a one and done installation. Once you get it installed, that's it. You don't have to reinstall it. It's right there, readily available on your flip phone. So basically, you have that same feature on your flip phone, and it only takes a couple of seconds to install that software anyway. As you can see here, I have a lot of my emulators at the top because I plan to use those a lot on the cover screen. I have other apps on here as well, and this really comes in handy so that you don't have to open up the phone in order to use these apps on the cover screen. Now, before MultiStar, you were only able to put on certain widgets. on the cover screen and interact with certain widgets on the cover screen. And that's pretty much it. You couldn't really interact with any of your apps that you had installed on your phone. So again, you can have certain widgets to control certain things on your phone. So your alarms, for example, music, if you have Spotify, pictures, step counter, things like that. With the use of MultiStar and this widget right here, it just makes this phone a lot more fun to interact with, especially just using it on the cover screen. I say that because, as you can see, I have my rails here, and I have my trusty Jungle Cat or Razer Jungle Cat controller. Love this controller. With these rails glued on the side, turns this into a very pocketable, very small, very cool game system. And when you turn on the controller, you can use the joystick to scroll through your apps or to use your finger, which is awesome. And then when you open up one of these emulators, let me open up this GBA.EMU emulator. You can control everything right here. I already have it configured to it. When you open up your content, check out my games. Oh my God, this is amazing. So let me open up Astro Boy Omega Factor to use as an example. This opened up at the save. Wow, this opened up at the save that I had it on a couple of days ago. Let me turn on the volume. I don't want to get dinged. Oops, that wasn't the volume. That's the volume. It opened up at the save. That is so cool. And as you can see, I already have this all configured. This turns this into the coolest Game Boy Advance that I've ever had. Whoa. And what I like about this emulator, fast forward button. You don't have this in a lot of emulators. So if you just want to go through stuff and don't want to read too much and know about playing, blah, 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 you can get right into the action. Turn off the fast forward, and you're right into the action. Look at this. Ah. So cool. Now let's see if I can continue the action when I open up the phone. Sweet. Hold on. So in portrait mode, it opens up at the top, and on the bottom you can have your virtual controls. But if you already have, as you can see, the virtual controls come on when you touch down on the screen. But if you already have controllers like I do, well, and you've already figured out how to put your rails on the side to attach your controllers. Wrong one. How's that? And then you turn it into landscape mode. You're ready to go. Oh, there's some slowdown. But it's ready to go. This is awesome. Too awesome. Now, yes, you can stretch the image on the screen so it's not in 4:3 aspect ratio. So you can stretch it to 16.9 or stretch to fill the screen. And that was just one aspect of how to use an emulator in portrait mode or cover screen mode, portrait mode, and or landscape mode. So you can use it in any form factor. I like this form factor because, again, you're not opening up your phone and you're not going to be using a lot of battery power when you play your games. So this mode right here is an awesome mode. And I just graced the tip of the iceberg when it comes to using emulators on the cover screen. So as you can see, you can use any of your emulators. You got PS2, Nintendo 64, Neo Geo Pocket, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx-16, Super Nintendo, and I have tons of games for this. And what's even better, so with this piece of rail on this adapter, the reason why I have this adapter on the bottom is to have extended storage. So I have my 1.5 terabyte micro SD card on here, being used through this adapter, used on this adapter here. And I have a ton of retro games on here for a lot of my emulators. And what's cool about this adapter, I can charge my phone using the adapter, using my card through the adapter so that I can play endlessly. So all I gotta do is just charge it up and I'm ready to go. That is just too awesome. And if you have Parsec, can you imagine having something this small and being able to play your PC games on your cover screen with controls? This right here is the smallest PC handheld that you can get on the market. Or you can get it even smaller than this if you have a Jelly Star. You need something that has a good processor. Jelly Star is okay. This processor, much better because this is a Snapdragon Gen 2 processor. So I'd rather use this one. So like I said, this is by far the smallest PC gaming system that you can have right here in your hands. It's just too awesome. I already have a mouse paired to my phone, so when I press connect, and when you open it up, look at this. Look at this. My PC streaming from home right onto my phone. And the resolution that you want to have this at in order to cover up most of the cover screen is, here it is right here, 1280 by 1024. Use that. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Can you imagine playing Diablo 4 right here?
That's true.
Sorry about that. That happens when you are at work on your last day before summer vacation starts. Anyway, can you imagine playing D4, Diablo 4, right here on your phone using Parsec and pair your controllers instantly? The controllers instantly work on here. This is awesome. Check it out. Yeah, I got the volume down. I don't want to get dinged. Unbelievable. I think when the game starts, I don't think I'll get dinged when the game starts. I don't know why it freezes like that. The freeze only lasts for a few seconds. Look at this. Look at this. Yes, the name of my character, Black Crow. Still a fingerprint magnet. I have to put on my anti-glare to stop the fingerprints and stop the reflection from the lights, but check it out. Look at that. Barely any hiccup. Barely any hiccups. I gotta show this to my friend here at work. He's gonna be astonished. What's going on? Oh, that's why I didn't have any fury. La 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 la. Look at it. Look at this. You can't deny how cool this is to be able to play Diablo on the small screen and still read the text on the screen. even though it's super small. That is sick. Let me show you how I can easily destroy Belial with my gear. Thanks to people on YouTube that put on videos about developing your gear. Because I certainly couldn't do this by myself. So I have the Rupture Summons build. Boom, that's it. And on Torment 4. What? Then you hold up your chest. La 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 la. Let's see, yep, give me this. What'd I get? And the phone vibrates. The phone vibrates. When the treasure chest opens. What? I didn't get anything from that. Let's try another one. Come on, give me a 4-star Rage of Hergoth. Give me a 4-star Rage. I'm trying to get one for weeks. Boom, give me a 4-star. Nope. Oh, there's weak gear. Do one more. Got 1 stars. Come on, give me a 4-star. Give me a 4-star for the camera. Give me a 4-star for the camera. Come on. Help me out. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, let me destroy you. And that's it. Give me a 4-star for the camera. Come on. Help a brother out. Got a 2-star amulet. Two-star amulet. A 2-star unbroken chain. That won't do anything for me. That's it. But again, playing the Diablo 4 in the palm of your hands, something this light and being legible on this small screen, that is the hot butter on the popcorn. Now, no, emulation is not the only thing that you can do on the cover screen, but it's the coolest thing you can do on the cover screen. Playing your emulated games, whatever games you got, your Android games, that is awesome. That is cool. And like I said, this is using MultiStar through GoodLock to be able to put apps on this widget to open them up on the cover screen and use them as if the phone was fully open. Now, the one drawback about the cover screen, besides using this widget through MultiStar to open up any app, the other widgets are just subpar. You can't put any widget on the cover screen. You can only put certain widgets, and most of them are Samsung app widgets. You can't put any widgets from your games or from these apps on your cover screen. And that kind of sucks. Because again, you're only limited to what Samsung allows you with using the cover screen for. And that's where Nova Launcher comes in. It took me a while to put this together, to set up Nova Launcher, but here's my Nova Launcher app right here. When I open this up, check this out. Did it open? All right, check this out. This is my Nova Launcher. This is my Nova Launcher. So I have my apps right here. All my favorite apps. And in the scroll. That is cool. That is cool. And if I want to open up my app drawer, 2 finger swipe down. Boom. But as you can see, I don't really have a lot of apps. Why? Because all of my apps are right here in this one little icon. So with Nova Launcher, you're able to put folders in folders. And that was a very cool feature that was released on jailbroken iPhones. I believe it was started at iOS 4, can't remember. But that particular feature was an awesome feature where you can have all your apps in one setting instead of having all your apps on one screen and then doing scroll to find the one app you want. So with this, I'm able to put my apps in categories and know where my apps are in these categories. And with this being on your cover screen, this is basically having Nova Launcher as if the phone was open right here on my cover screen, which means that widgets that you can have on Nova Launcher will work on this cover screen. So I already have some widgets already set up. So I got my music widgets here. I got time and weather. Now the only drawback I have, the only caveat or the only bad thing about using this, because like I said, this is like using your phone opened up. If you want to check on the weather and extend and you tap on a widget, it's going to ask you to open up your phone to continue on the phone. That's the only thing that I kind of don't like, but there's nothing to really complain about because again, I can use my phone in cover screen mode and save battery. So like I said, this for opening up apps on the cover screen. So if I wanted to open up the weather app on here, I can do that by adding the app on the MultiStar widget. But if I want to be able to use my phone fully in full, to be able to open up apps, but again have to open up the screen to fully use it, I can do that. If I want to use just regular widgets, I can do that. Some widgets work. Well, actually, no, the widgets actually work on this screen. I'm going to have to open up the phone in order to play a song. It will play. As you can see, it's playing right now. I don't have the volume up because I don't want to get dinged. And I can do that with any of those. Now, if I want to see an article, some you have to open up the phone. Some you do not. So even my calendar, if I want to check out events in my calendar, I'm going to have to open up the phone. But you can do a scroll if you want to see particular events that you can see right on the widget. But if I want to see more detail, I have to open up the phone. But again, some apps work, some do not. Now with messages, that works. I can see my messages from the cover screen. But like I said, a lot of the other apps do not work unless you open it completely up. And that's basically what I wanted to show you in this video. Now, it's not as fluid as the Razer phone. With the Razer phone, you can just use the apps and stuff out the box, ready to go. I don't have to go back and forth between two particular apps to fully use this phone. But because of the storage space and the hinge, that makes me want to use this a lot more than the Razer phones. So to each your own, use whatever you feel that's going to work for you. For me right now, this is it. Like I said, in my opinion, it's not really worth it to spend the extra money on the Ultra just to get the extra storage, because it's a lot more money than I paid for this phone to get the Ultra with the expanded storage and the newest features and the newest processor. It has the Snapdragon Ultra processor in it. And that costs what, $1,300? $1,500 if you want the 1 terabyte? I mean, you can go through your carrier and get a fantastic deal on an old phone. You can trade in an old phone and get up to $1,000 on it. And that will knock down the Razer Ultra price to $400 out of pocket. And that's with tax. And that's really worth the amount that you pay for the phone. $400 with a trade-in, that is well worth the money. But I'm rocking this one because of a particular thing that I've learned about the updated OSs that I figured out for this phone, where I do not want to update to One UI 7 or even One UI 8. I'm on One UI 6.1.1 and I'm on there forever. I figured out how to stop the updates. I actually saved the websites, but when I click back down the websites, it doesn't look the same as when I saved it. So I have to find those websites again. And once I do find those websites and show you the way that I figured out how to stop the updates completely, I'll make a video for that. But because of my stopped updates, there are particular apps that I can use on this phone that you cannot put on One UI 7 or One UI 8 or One UI anything. Just One UI 6.1.1 and below. So this phone right here is my holy grail. Again, I will show you a video of how to stop the updates completely on the phone once I find those videos again. But as far as using this phone and having the storage space and using my cover screen, this right here is my ultimate phone. I'm very happy with this purchase of this phone. Just ecstatic. And that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, enjoyed what you saw, definitely leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.